Manchester United want Aurelien Tchouaméni to replace Casemiro. It feels like history repeating itself. United going back to Real Madrid to find the steel their midfield so desperately needs. But with an €85 million price tag and the pressure of a massive rebuild, one question stands above all. Is Tchouaméni truly the right replacement for United? Is he a younger, better version of the Brazilian anchor, or just another expensive gamble? To answer that, we need to look beyond the hype and dive into the numbers from last season. The mission inside Old Trafford is clear. No more short-term fixes. A major rebuild is coming in midfield, and the recruitment team has been handed a clear mandate. Find the perfect successor to Casemiro, the world-class anchor who once transformed United's midfield the moment he arrived. With Kobbie Mainoo now tied down to a long-term contract until 2031, the need for a powerful defensive partner beside him has become more urgent than ever. United wants someone who can dominate the middle of the pitch, win duels, protect the backline, and allow Mainoo the freedom to shine. And once again, their eyes have turned toward Madrid. This time, the target is Tchouaméni, the very player Real Madrid originally signed as Casemiro's long-term replacement. But this story feels very different. According to reports from TalkSport, Tchouaméni is no longer considered untouchable at the Santiago Bernabeu. Under the ruthless and ambitious leadership of Florentino Perez, Real Madrid are preparing a bold midfield overhaul of their own, dreaming of blockbuster signings like Rodri and Enzo Fernandez. To finance deals that could cost close to €200 million, Madrid may need to sacrifice some of their current stars. The reported asking price of $80 to $85 million sends a clear message. Real Madrid are finally willing to listen. But can Tchouaméni really fill the massive void Casemiro will eventually leave behind? To answer that, we need to look beyond the hype and dive into the numbers from last season.
First, let's talk about defending, the most important job for any midfielder expected to protect Manchester United's backline. Even in his 30s, Casemiro still showed incredible durability and experience in the intensity of the Premier League. He recorded 73 clearances, 25 interceptions, and was involved in 310 duels throughout the season. He won 158 of them, including 50 aerial battles. Those numbers reflect exactly what Casemiro has always been, a classic defensive midfielder with elite positioning, leadership, and game intelligence. But on the other side, Tchouaméni brings something different. 8 years younger than Casemiro, the French midfielder offers energy, mobility, and a much fresher physical profile. In just 29 La Liga matches, he produced 59 successful tackles and 37 interceptions, comfortably higher than Casemiro's numbers in that area. He also won 150 out of 222 duels, along with 65 aerial battles, which is a huge statistic for a player expected to survive the physical demands of the Premier League. And that tells us something important. Purely from a defensive perspective, Tchouaméni is already operating at a very high level. In some areas, he may even have a bigger range and more athletic coverage than Casemiro because of his stamina and physical power. But once we move to the attacking side of the game, the differences become much clearer. Casemiro has never been just a destroyer in midfield. He can also change games going forward. Last season, he contributed 8 goals, 2 assists, and 32 key passes, numbers that show his ability to break lines and create danger in big moments. Tchouaméni, meanwhile, plays in a much safer and more controlled style. He managed only 1 goal, no assists, and 23 key passes. Right now, he simply does not offer the same level of attacking impact or unpredictability around the opponent's penalty area. However, the passing accuracy tells another story. Tchouaméni completed an outstanding 91.43% of his passes, far ahead of Casemiro's 80.9%. That reflects the mentality of a modern holding midfielder, someone focused on keeping possession, recycling the ball quickly, and maintaining structure within the system. The challenge at Old Trafford, though, is that Manchester United will likely want more than just safe sideways passing. Under Michael Carrick, or any manager leading United's rebuild, Tchouaméni would eventually need to take more risks, play forward more often, and become more influential in controlling the tempo of games.
What makes this deal even more fascinating is not just the football side of it, but also the mental and internal situation behind the scenes. The reported dressing room clash between Tchouaméni and Federico Valverde has reportedly created tensions that are difficult to repair. No matter how talented a player is, once his mind is no longer fully focused on the Bernabeu, it becomes hard to maintain the same role inside the team. Tchouaméni may still be happy in Madrid, but sources suggest he would be open to a new chapter if the right opportunity arrives. And for a club desperate to rebuild itself, Manchester United could be the perfect destination. At the same time, the idea of pairing Tchouaméni with Mainu is incredibly exciting. Mainu's composure, creativity, and ability to escape pressure would perfectly complement a powerful defensive midfielder behind him. United needs someone who can recover the ball, protect spaces, and bring physical dominance to midfield. Tchouaméni fits that profile almost perfectly. Young, athletic, intelligent, and already experienced at the highest level. Of course, the risks are still there. The Premier League is very different from La Liga. The speed, physical intensity, and constant pressure can overwhelm even elite players during their first months in England. On top of that, arriving with a huge transfer fee and the expectation of replacing a figure like Casemiro immediately would be a massive challenge for any player. Of course, the risks are still there. The Premier League is very different from La Liga. The speed, physical intensity, and constant pressure can overwhelm even elite players during their first months in England. On top of that, arriving with a huge transfer fee and the expectation of replacing a figure like Casemiro immediately would be a massive challenge for any player. Overall, signing Aurelien Tchouaméni would be a major strategic move for Manchester United. Instead of spending enormous money on players with potential but limited elite-level experience, United would be investing in someone already proven with both Real Madrid and the French national team. At around 85 million euros, the deal could actually make a lot of sense financially in today's market. Tchouaméni may not yet offer the same attacking threat as Casemiro, but he brings stability, elite passing accuracy, and outstanding defensive ability for a long-term project.